Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Super Bowl halftime show. The halftime show where the Kansas City Chiefs are getting absolutely romped. They are getting blown out. The Philadelphia Eagles with a 24-0 lead. But this is a math channel. There's a lot of math in football. And as I've done the last three Super Bowls, during the halftime show, I calculate the completion percentage of each quarterback. So we are starting with Patrick Mahomes. He threw 14 passes. He completed 6 out of those 14 passes. So I am now going to calculate his completion percentage. In calculating percentages, it involves division with decimals. So you can't divide a smaller number by a larger number unless you can't technically divide a smaller number by a larger number. So I have to add a few decimal places to the right here. But what we're going to do is we are actually going to divide this as if we were dividing a whole number, and then at the very end, we're going to line up the decimal point. So we have 14 divided by 6 and 0, 14 divided by 6 and 0 thousandths. But we're going to pretend that decimal point isn't there. We are going to start off by dividing this as if it were a whole number. Then at the very end, we're going to move the decimal point over. So let's say we are starting out with 60 divided by 14. Going to see how many groups of 14 go into 60. 14, we have one group. 28, two groups. 42, three groups. 56, four groups of 14. Now, if I count by 14 again, I'll be at 70, which is too far. But I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 full groups of 14 within 60. So 60 divided by 14 equals 4. 56 is as close as we could get to 60 without going over it. So 56 is what we have to subtract to find our remainder. So 60 minus 56 equals 4. Next, we bring down the 0. That 4 becomes a 40. Now we got to figure out how many groups of 14 go into 40. So here we go, counting by 14s again. 14, 28. Now if I count by 14 a third time, I'll be too far, right? 42 is too far. That's beyond 40. But I was able to get 2 full groups of 14 within 40. So 40 divided by 14 equals 2. 28 was as close as I could get to 40 without going over, so 28 is what we have to subtract. $40 minus 28 equals 12, so we have a remainder of 12. Next, we bring down the 0. Welcome to the chat. If this question is related to what I'm doing right now, you can ask it. If it's not related to math or football, then let's save the question for another time, all right? Math and football related questions only. The Chiefs are losing bad right now. The Chiefs are losing bad, and I am calculating Patrick Mahomes' completion percentage. So next step, I got to figure out how many groups of 14 go into 120. So counting by 14s here, let's see. 14, 28, 42, 56. So far we got 4 groups, but we're not done. 70, that's 5 groups of 14. 84, that's 6 groups of 14. 98, that's 7 groups of 14. 112, that is 8 groups of 14. If I count by 14 again, I'll be over 120, but I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full groups of 14 within 120. So 120 divided by 14 does equal 8 with the remainder. We got to subtract 120 minus 112. We have a remainder of 8. So we have 428 with a remainder of 8. Now the final step, got to move the decimal point over 3 places. So there are 3 digits behind the number. There are 3 digits behind the decimal point for the number we're dividing. So we got to make sure there's 3 digits behind the decimal point in our answer. So Patrick Mahomes' completion percentage is 0.428, 428 thousandths. Or if you want to round that to a 2-digit number, 42.8%. So Patrick Mahomes' field goal percentage is 42.8%. Hopefully he throws a little better in the second half and he makes it more of a football game, because it is embarrassing right now. All right. Now to calculate the completion percentage of the quarterback on the winning team. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. So next we have Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts completed 11 out of 15 passes. So we have to divide 11 by 15. We got to add our 3 zeros behind the number. Include that decimal point in there. Division with decimals. That's how we calculate percentages here. So again, we are going to start out as if we were dividing a whole number. Then at the very end, we are going to move the decimal to its proper place. So pretending this is a whole number, 110 divided by 15, we got to figure out how many groups of 15 we can get into 110. So counting by 15s. 15, so far we have 1 group. 30, now we have 2 groups of 15. 45, now we have 3 groups of 15. 60, now we have 4 groups of 15. 75, 5 groups of 15. 90, 6 groups of 15. 105, 7 groups of 15. So 110 minus 105 equals 5. Next, we bring down the 0. We got to figure out how many groups of 15 now go into 50. So counting by 15s, 15, that's 1 group. 30, that's 2 groups of 15. 45, that's 3 groups of 15. So 50 divided by 15 equals 3. We will have a remainder. 45 is as close as I could get to 50 without going over. If I counted by 15 again, I'd be over 50. But 50 minus 45 equals 5. Next, we bring down the 0, same thing. 50 divided by 15, so 15, 30, 45. If I counted by 15 again, I'd be at 60, I'd be over. But again, 1, 2, 3 groups of 15 within 50. There is a remainder there. We have a remainder of 5. And then we have to move the decimal point over 3 places. Got to line up the decimal point. If there's 3 digits behind the decimal point with the number we're dividing, there has to be 3 digits behind the decimal point for our answer. So we have .733 or 733,000. So if we want to round that to a percentage, 73.3%. So Jalen Hurts' completion percentage for the first half is 73.3%. So far, clearly the Philadelphia Eagles are having a much better game, and their quarterback's playing a lot better. Their quarterback is completing 30% more of his passes than Patrick Mahomes is, and he's more completions and a better completion percentage. So Patrick Mahomes needs to step his game up for the second half. But that is my live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if there is an area of math or reading that you're having difficulty with, put that in the comments. And I will try to do a future live stream on that skill. Until next time, God is good, Christ is King, and I will see you on the next live stream. Please enjoy the second half of the Super Bowl.